Hello everybody, welcome to part 4 of the ATV from hell. Well, thanks for all your prayers, it worked. You can tell in part 3 that it started, got a good harness, and everything kind of fell into place. So this is the beginning, or I mean in part 3 everything fell into place. Now we're at part 4. I have the engine pulled out. I got all the stuff over here, the handlebars, the muffler. What do I have in here? This is parts for the carburetor. There's the new carburetor in the tank. There's the oil that came out of this thing. Man, look at how dark that is. That is just black. And I got the chain soaking in it. Have that. That's what I was planned on doing. Then I have all this rust on here that I'm gonna have to my little grinder and just start doing a piece at a time. I think the shocks, I'm gonna pull the shocks off. I'm just gonna paint those straight silver, clean those up the best I can. I'm thinking about getting some of that rust inhibitor and painting, after I clean the rust up, to paint that rust inhibitor on this bike to stop the rust and use as kind of like a primer, and then I'll paint it. The silver, I'll probably paint these silver too, the spindles and the knuckles and the ends here. Back axle, I'm going to probably tape that off. I don't want to get any paint on that on the rotor here. I got grass in here. Yeah, I gotta wash this thing off. I don't want to get any paint on the rotor. I might paint those up a little silver. And the outriggers for your feet. This one here needs to be. You need to get a little piece of metal and weld that tab over like the one next to it, so the footrest is more secure. Then I ran into the problem of course, you know that this is the wiring harness, but you know about that one being all Swiss cheesed, and I needed another one. Well, this between here and here, between the holes, is 2 3/8. Well, and this is a 6-inch rim, because this is 145/70, I think. Where is it here? Yes, it's 145/76. So it's a 6-inch rim. So I can't find one. I'm going to start looking at some other places next week. But if I can't find one, I'm going to buy a 3-inch one, and I will. If this is the 3-inch one, I'll just put the holes here, here, and here. I'll just move them, clamp it down, take one of the spindles off, center punch them all, and drill them out on the drill press. I'm not really too concerned about the tires right now. Need to buy myself a better respirator, one with cones on it. I start doing that sanding on the frame. I'll have that garage door open, and I'll put that fan behind me and put it on high, blow all the dust away from me. But I want to get a better respirator. I've got one of those ones, you know, like the COVID masks. Those things aren't very good. You need to get the one that goes up over your nose, and actually with the 2 big filters on it. That's the better one you should be using. And then get that frame all painted up. And next week, hopefully, I'll be able to find a rim with, you know, 2 3/8 center holes for this. If not, I'll just get a new 3-inch one and offset them in between the holes and cut them to this size, put it on there, and move on. Get the tires on this thing and the tubes. So it's coming along. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the plastics yet. Still kind of out on that one. Might try to match that green the best I can, and maybe power wash that and scrub it down really good, and maybe just paint the top, paint the black part, and you know, fix it up the best I can. So, alrighty, that's my plan for here in part 4, and we'll just keep getting at it until we get this thing all done. I gotta take this engine and clean this engine up really good too. It's pretty filthy. Needs some simple green, some scrub brush, and I want to make this engine look a little bit nicer. You're not going to see it really once you get that cover on for the ATV. You're not going to see it. Same with the frame. I mean, I'll clean the frame up as best I can and get some of that rust inhibitor on there, and then paint it up. And if people buy it, want to make it any fancier, well, they can do it. Just try to keep the cost down. So, all right, I'll be back probably next week sometime, as soon as I find out about that rim and I get my new respirators to start grinding on this, and I'll make a little bit of a video of some of the grinding on it. Not all of it, but just a little bit to know that I'm working on it and trying to get it done. All right, bye. Alrighty, we got another part of part 4. Spent some time shining up the engine, getting it cleaned up. Looks pretty clean all around. And then I'm going to be working on shock absorbers. Haven't sure what color scheme I'm going to have, but let's see how they clean up. And then we'll have to see how this cleans up and see what kind of color scheme. It's pretty pitted. This frame is pretty pitted. I can't, you know, I would love to paint it yellow. I would love to paint it yellow. I think frames are pretty cool, especially in these little four-wheelers and other things, in motorcycles, motorized bikes, and yellow frame. It's pretty pitted, so I don't know. It'd stick out pretty bad with a yellow paint. Yellow kind of shows everything, so I might end up sticking with black. But we'll have to see how it cleans up. If it cleans up nice, then I think I can lay some yellow on it. Then I'll prime the whole frame and paint it yellow. Right now we're going to clean up the shocks. I'm going to cover up the engine with some towels I have here, and then get my respirator. Respirator came in. This is the dog right here. Oh, Luke, I'm not your father. Or your brother or your aunt. Wear that and start cleaning up some of this rusty metal. Alright, I'll kind of shoot you back here a little bit, and you can kind of watch as I clean for a little bit. I'm not going to shoot it all, but some of it. Okay. Alright, I got everything cleaned up. Respirator worked great. Aired out the garage. Picked up some paint. The only paint I don't have is some heat paint. I'm gonna have to go back. I'll have to go out and get some after dinner tonight. I think I'm cooking dinner. And that's it. So I'm gonna do some spray painting. I have some hooks. Made some hooks from wire hangers that I had. And tell you what, if it wasn't for wire hangers when I was a teenager, I probably couldn't drive any of my cars because that's what was holding up most of my exhaust. A few times when I was an adult too. Wire hangers saved my bacon. I think a lot of people, their exhaust seems to break in the worst place. And the one thing you keep in the trunk of your car is something to lay on, something to jack your car up, duct tape, and wire hangers. And a gas can. So yeah, I'm going to start doing some painting here and then open up the garage door. I've got the fan blowing behind me. And we're going to start doing some painting. So I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do that. As you can see, my hangers are a pair of jumper cables wrapped around the garage door guides. And I figure that's a good place to hang my stuff. So, got the paint shook up. Now all we gotta do is, have to do is start painting. Just going for a light coat, this first one. Right. Number one. Hopefully this stuff holds, it doesn't fall down. Alright. Tell you that Ryobi grinder I have sure eats up the batteries. Their batteries aren't that great. They're only like I think 1.3 hour ones. And yeah, they're not very heavy batteries to hold a charge. I read articles on that before I bought it. It says it does eat up batteries, but it works well. Doesn't seem to bog too much. Of course, I haven't got into really some heavy grinding with it. So we'll have to see. How it works during heavy grinding. Yeah, yeah, the steering. Yeah, this thing was pretty chunky in spots. There we go. I think I'd like to screw that. Oh, gotta watch the flag. Want to get paint on the flag. This is the back behind the seat. If you ever rode a motorcycle, this is what you hang on to most of the time. Get two over here. Stay there. Don't move. All right. Let's see what we can do on the frame here. Hello everybody, it's next day. Got 20 hours on the last paint. I'll show you. That last video is kind of hard to see, but I couldn't put the camera out in the front of the garage when the spraying and all the paint was going that way. So sorry about that, but I guess I could have put a light behind me or something. But this is all painted up. I did paint the axles themselves. I have to clean this up. I already sanded that off. I'm going to leave this stuff just natural. I'm going to paint these. I do believe the hubs, I think I'm going to, after this all dries, I'll tape it off. I think I'm going to paint the hubs red. I'll have to take the red cap and put it one of those gray rims. See what it looks like. But and I got a second coat on these on the bottoms. I'm going to paint the springs red. So and then all the other parts turned out okay. So in all, before the noise gets too loud, it turned out to be okay. Had a good paint. I painted some this morning, so it's about 11 o'clock, so let this sit up and try again tomorrow. My parts should be coming in on Sunday. I ordered okay, let me go inside here. Okay, let me get some more light. Alright. I ordered the air cleaner, 4 tubes, another rim, and the brake lever and caliper that goes in the back, and the hose. So that all should be coming in on Sunday. So I'm trying to get this all painted up, maybe work on getting these tires off the rims. If I can't find another rim, I'm going to drill out that other one that I get that's a 3-inch. I'm going to offset it and drill it to a 2 3/8, and then I'll probably put that on the back drive wheel. I'm not going to put that on the steer wheel. So that's about where we're at on that. Just got done painting. I might be able to cut my grass today, but I don't know if I'm feeling up to it or not. Hurt my back earlier this week, so I've been kind of sitting for the last 3 days. Yesterday was my 4th day. I kind of got up, moved around a little bit, did some of this light painting stuff yesterday, and then today's the 5th day. I just don't want to push it. So maybe I'll cut my grass tomorrow. So, alrighty. Well, we'll come back with some more paint antics. I tried cleaning that green fiberglass top. It's so faded. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna prime it. I think I'm gonna prime it and let the people who want to buy the bike paint the color they want. So that's where that's going. So the top is going to be gray. And they can figure out what other color they want to put on it. Alrighty. So I'll see you again shortly. All right, bye. Hey, hello everybody. Still working on the motorcycle. It's Saturday. New shirt. Surprising. I've been known to wear them. If I don't do much, I'll wear them on 2 days. Getting a little bit warmer out today. It's nice yesterday. We had the windows open in the house, and last night, but now I think it's around 11. Oh, no, it's around 12. I got up around 10. Blows off somewhere. And turn the air back on about, here it is noon. Got some grass cut today. Finished that all up, and off to the store I go after this. And did get some painting in. Got the little red ends on the steering. I think it should look pretty good. Can't put this on here right now, but I think that should be a contrast. I'm debating whether to paint I've got all the nuts that go on here. I'm debating whether to paint those silver as the same color as the rim, or paint them red. I don't know. Yeah, we have all these painted. Got them taped and painted. I think I might get away with one coat on this, you know. So that's all done and dried. I still have to pop those two off the wheel. Well, here we are, Sunday. Same shirt from Saturday. Boxes came in today, so let's see what we've got. Did we get all our goodies? I got that backed up. Oh, I do know. Okay. Let's see what this is. There's the gas cap. This isn't the rim. I think the rim is bigger than this. Maybe not. No, the rim is bigger than this. This can't be the rim. Well, it is. Well, maybe I've got it wrong. Well, maybe it is the same size. Let's see. Put the other one up next to it. That's a little narrower. I don't know if I'm going to have enough meat on this thing to, as you can see, this one's smaller. This here is bigger. So when I drill the holes through here, the holes are going to be closer to this ring. Never thought about that. Nuts. Well, that rim is going to be too close to the edge because the center hole is bigger. The other option I have is changing the hub, finding the same shaft size as the front end here, take the spindle off, finding the same shaft size, and be able to find another spindle to slide over that. It's the 3-inch. Okay, well, not much we can do about that now, so let's just move forward. We should have our tire tubes and that air cleaner in here. There we go. There's our tubes. Oh, I should put this down, shouldn't I? Open the box. The tubes. Pretty cool little air cleaner. Woohoo! Nifty. And the battery. Alrighty. So we got all our goodies. Let's see if this gas cap that I ordered will fit. Maybe I could open this without ruining it. But that doesn't seem to be the price. Let me come back. Yeah. Fit in there? Can I tell? Yeah. Don't want to ruin the package too much. But doesn't look like I have much of a choice here. Alright, let's take that off. I can get this stinking thing to open. There we go. Kind of hoping this gas cap fits. Hey, look at that! Alrighty! Woohoo! Something in there, but it's probably a nut or something. Damn squirrels. Alright, the gas cap fits. Alright. Woohoo! And that's the carb stuff. So, only one poo-poo. So let me go do some more research for this spline deal and see what I can come up with. Alright, I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm back. I went to put the air cleaner on, and the air cleaner is 1 7/8 and the carburetor is 1.5 inches. I'm sorry, 1 3/4 and the carburetor is 1.5 inches. This is like the second air cleaner I've ordered. I thought they all kind of fit. So I'm sending my second air cleaner back. God. Alright. Everyone's like a nail in the brain. Okay. So we're going to get something done today. I'm going to get the shocks back on. Get these 3 wheels back on the mounting. Maybe put some of the stuff back on the bike, motorcycle, ATV project. So we're going to start slapping some stuff together here. Took a break. Back. Unpissed. Still a little pissed, but mostly unpissed. Alright, on this case we came up with something different. Engine case here. This vent, this tube, is so much smaller than this one. It's a 5/16 nipple, but this tube is so much smaller. So if I were to be able to put, well, this thing, look at this. This is for this hose. It just slides over it. Shows you how skinny this thing is. It's just rotten. It broke off here at the top. So when I go to put this clamp on there, it rubs up against the case here, and I don't like that to rub up against the case. And it's just a vent, so what I'm going to do is put a zip tie on it try to put a zip tie on here and then tighten that up and see how that works. So got the I don't got anything. I have the handlebars on there. Finally got the other stupid shock on there. Need the fourth wheel to get this thing to roll. I don't know, one way or another I'm going to get this thing to roll. I don't care if I have one of my old lawnmower tires. I will cut holes in that, throw it on this thing, and drive it. I think I've got a line on another wheel. But this one's definitely been squirting lemon in my eye all day today. Okay, so I'm going to get that zip tie on there, and I'm going to probably start doing the tires. Get the tires back on the rim. At least get all three of them done, get those mounted up. I decided not to paint the bolts, so I'm going to go up to the shop and take all those bolts, go up to the wire wheel and just clean the grime off them. That should shine them up pretty good, and then they should pretty much match the silver paint on the rims. Hopefully I don't scratch the rims up too much getting the tires on. But that's it. Tires are never any fun. That's a lot of four-letter words, and you get them on. Just like I said, soap them up really good. Use that dish soap, get that on the beads, and start with your small side on first. Pop that on, and then work your way. I got to get tubes in these, and they situate the tubes just right. Pop them on without poking holes in the tubes, and getting them aired up. So that's it. Wiring harness, I think for next week. I'll probably get with my friend Chuck, have him come in and pick up this engine and put it in the motor, in the frame for me. I don't want to mess up my back. It's starting to feel good, almost. Tomorrow will be 7 days in, so I'll take it easy the next couple days at work. But yeah, it's coming together hard, but it's getting there. It's getting there. I just get frustrated. It seems like a fly lands on me lately and it just sends me off in a spin. It's not the bike, it's this life. And the price of everything just got me kind of all pissed off. Imagine that. Alright, getting back at it. Going to blows. We'll get this thing done today. Not done, but get the tires on, zip it up some stuff, and then next week we'll work on the engine, the harness, and all the other fun stuff. Alright, good for today. Sunday, same shirt from Saturday. Done. Well, hello everybody. It's Monday. Got a few things done on the bike. And we found out a few things that we needed to do today. We're still working on the dilemma with the rim with looks like Swiss cheese. There was a motorcycle salvage yard. It's open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Closed all the other days of the week. It's 34 miles one way from where I live. So I went to call them today to see if they had that kind of unusual rim, because it's 2 3/8 centers for the holes for the rim, and all I can get is 3" and bigger for a 6". You can get like 3 1/4 pattern for 6", and I don't know what it fits, but you can, there's 2 different sizes, 3 and I think 3 1/4. It's in millimeters. That's what it comes out to. So I called there today about 10:30. They open at 10, and I rang and rang and rang. I was like, geez, what's going on here? And then came into a voicemail. Person said their name, and I was going to leave a voicemail. It says the voicemail box is full. I mean, that's, voicemail box is, 20, 30 messages. Or maybe 20 long ones. I don't know how they, but I was just like, oh my God. And I've never been there. I don't know anything about the place. I've always wanted to go there for the last 20 years, but I figured if I ever went there, I would have to bring something back. I know me. So I don't go there. Wasn't going to go there on purpose. So I was thinking, oh geez, now what? Well, it's going to cost me probably 20 bucks in gas to get there. I drive my truck, gets like 15 miles a gallon. It cost me about 20 bucks in gas to get there, and if I got a rim, that would be like $30. So I was like, okay. Or, depends if they wanted 20 bucks the rim. I'd give them 20 bucks for the rim if I had to pay that much. So I thought about it, and the spline on the front, I found one, and I had it in my eBay account. It's just like this front spline. This one is 2. This one here is the 2 3/8 centers. I found one that was the same shaft. If I take that nut off that deal, slide that out there, it's a 17 millimeter shaft. It has a 3-inch flange, and it's $30 altogether. That's with tax and everything. So I ordered it. I figured, well, I'm already there, so I'll have one rim on there that's, this is the new rim. I think I paid 17 bucks for this, and some tax, so I probably paid, 20 bucks for it. So I'm waiting for that to come in on Saturday. So I decided to do some other stuff on so hopefully everything is what they say it is in the ad. I've had that where they say it's supposed to be this dimension, and I get it, it's not even close. So I'm just kind of holding my breath and seeing if everything's going to work out. But I'm moving forward. I sat down and did some wiring today, and I can't stress, you really just need to take your time with this wiring. You really just need to take your time. I've got the wires up here, and I've got them run through underneath here, and I got zip ties pulled in. I've had to cut a few zip ties a few times. I made some mistakes here. There's 3 or 4 zip ties down here on the ground to try to get this all laid out. But you have to remember, do I have this all the way back? Okay, just want to make sure. There's a cover that goes over this, so these wires, you want to keep them as close to this as you possibly can. Okay, this needs to go under. Okay. You need to keep them as close as you possibly can. You can't have, this thing is just sitting there for right now, but I will move this wire back around here. Not touching the other one, because then it'll go to start. But, and this thing here goes over the top of it, so it should keep them from touching. And I think there should be one. I might have another one here somewhere that I'll take off. But I haven't even tightened that yet. I just kind of laid it out. It took me about 20 minutes just to, I had to put all this up on here and the switch, the starter. And this is for the lights, and this is the kill switch here, starter button, and then I put the key up on here. The key usually goes into the fiberglass, or not fiber, plastic cover that goes over this. So when you're ever doing this, just take your time. I had to kind of move stuff around. I looked at it and I says, well, I want this to run a little bit better, and I ran the I changed the coil around a couple times the way I wanted to run that. I might run that over the top. Now I see I got this underneath. I might run it over the top because I kind of got a zip tie right here. And I could put another zip tie. I have one here. And I might cut this zip tie and then take this hot wire and zip tie that up here. I saw something on the other side, because you should always look at something in two different perspectives. You should always come around the other side of what you're wiring and look. And here's a really good example. On this side, here, I gotta change it here so you can see. There's my finger right here. Where am I? Oop. Okay. You see on top of this, this is the regulator, right where my finger is here. Let's see if let's put that underneath there for now. There's a screw right here. Right there where my finger. There's a screw that holds this regulator in here. It's not tight, it's loose. But it's a bolt that goes through. This is the Phillips head and the nuts on the other side. Well, I'll turn my light on here. If you look at the other side, it's a bad thing about trying to use one hand here. It doesn't always work. There, that's better. See the bolt right there? See that bolt sticking out? Now imagine this wire going down and bouncing up and down and hitting that bolt coming out of there. So what I'm going to do is turn that around so the Phillips head will be in here. I can get a full, I have a short Phillips, and I'll put the bolt coming out this side and put the nut on it. But that's what I mean. You need to look at both sides to make sure everything is not rubbing somewhere that you don't see. But again, you just need to take your time. Is everybody always have that sort of what would I say, that perspective, or be able to slow down? Sometimes I don't. I just have to walk away from stuff. I don't have patience. There's the word I was looking for, patience. You have to have patience. And believe me, I don't have patience sometimes. I try to be methodical, but sometimes being methodical sometimes bites me in the ass. It does. And when I was doing the shocks before I was putting the shocks, I shot an earlier segment. I thought I had the shocks in upside down, but they were right side up, and I had them right, and I was looking at them, and I cut that part out. But that was a bear to put them shocks in. The back shock was just fiddling it around to get it in the right spot, but the front one, you had to stick it through the top and then turn it, and if you didn't have it everything orientated right, you could have the head of the shock turned 100 degrees out, and the bolt wouldn't line up. And it happened to me on both sides. I had to take it back out, turn the thing 180 degrees, slide it in, and the bolt slid right in. Don't know why, unless that, all I can think of is that the top of the shock where the bolt goes through is at a little bit of an angle or something, and maybe just a little bit of that angle, because when you slide it through the one way, it gets right up to the hole and it lands over here. It doesn't go into the hole. So just by flipping that shock around, I just had to orientate the top. So if you have one of these and you put it in and you just can't get the bolt lined up, take it out, turn it 180 degrees, and I bet you the bolt should line back up. So I'm going to put all this together, put the carburetor on it. I got the fuel tank cleaned out. I got a fuel filter for that. There is a fuel filter in the bottom of that that carburetor. It was like the other one I rebuilt in part 3, I think it was. But I'm going to put a filter in there anyhow. I cleaned that out as best I could. It was open to the air. There was junk in there, and I blew it out as best I could. But you know, I'm going to put it in line. I think it's just to my for myself and maybe whoever buys it to have that extra filter. So the only other thing is that the battery fits in that plastic cover. So I'm going to have to figure a way to put that battery in the frame before I put the seat on the top, because the seat I can put on it without the plastic cover over everything. I got to figure a way to get that battery in there, wrap it in a towel or something, zip tie it or something, just to put it down in the bike so I can fire it up. I'm going to put this old spark plug in it and put the new one in, and once I get everything together, make sure I have spark before I put the spark plug top on it, make sure I'm not just cranking it and something doesn't work. Just to double check myself. So, well, I got 3 wheels on it, and hopefully I'll have the 4th one on Saturday or Sunday. But we're getting there. I'm going to work on this wiring. Then I'm going to put the exhaust, carburetor. What else do I have over there? Oh, the foot mounts, the back piece behind me. And I think that's it. Then I'll be sitting waiting for... I guess I can put the tire on that rim. I'm going to paint that rim up, let that sit for a couple days and dry. It's like 102 today. Wow. Good thing my garage is air conditioned. Feel sorry for anybody working in a garage today. Oh, it's got to be hot. I've been a mechanic working in garages during the heat of the day, and it's not fun. Especially if you're working for somebody, and if you work for yourself, you can kind of take your time. But if you're working for somebody else, they want you to keep it up and keep making them money. So, I'll get back with you probably tomorrow, and we'll see how far I've come along tonight. See ya. Alright, gas is on. We have spark. Batteries hooked up. Garage door is ready to open. Let's see if we can't get this thing started. Get the key on. Pull the choke out. Hit the starter and see what happens. Come on, baby. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I had it running fine before, and now, again, fucking thing from hell. Alright, let's see if I can find my wrench that fits on this. Okay. There's a fuel strainer down here. This could be full of shit too. Never know. A little something in there. That's in the strainer end. There's a little piece of metal that was on the inside of the strainer. And that's clean. Yeah, nothing in there. Alright. Yep, let's take the float bowl off. Leaking gas everywhere, so. There's the big one. Maybe there's crap in this from the factory. Floating around in here, getting into the jets. Don't see anything. Well, take it apart, blow it out, put it back together, see if that helps it run. Alright, I found some junk in the carburetor. The idle circuit, which is... hang on, do I? Yeah, I don't have it. I think I screwed it back in there. Hang on a second. Took this one out because I said, geez, you should be able to see through that. And you could see through this one. Right here. And my screwdriver there's a little hole in that thing right there. Well, I have these very, very small drill bits, and the drill bit I was using was .0023, and you could barely see that drill bit. See how small that drill bit is? And then the one I used was actually smaller than that, which is the one behind it. Yeah, maybe I get my face in there. Yeah, see it? See how small those are? Well, the drill bit would go as far into here and stop, and then the drill bit would go into there and stop. So right in here there was a jet. You should be able to shine light through this. If I look through this at my screen there, you can't see my monitor, I can see light through it. Well, I couldn't see light through that one. So I had to blow the snot out of it. I finally cleared what was in there. And hopefully now I'll be able to get the bike to idle the way it was before. So let's give it another shot and see if we can get this thing going. Alright, can you see me? Alright. Okay, I got my hook. Need the screwdriver. I always leave it around somewhere. I need to adjust that carburetor. Alright, let's try this again. Letting all the heat in the garage. Turn this on. Choke. Gas is on. Just a bunch of crap in that idle jet. I had to readjust the high-speed jets on that. I forgot I had that idle screw all the way turned in on the last one. It revved way up. It's like, whoa! It wasn't too high. These little 4 cycles, they rev pretty high. Alrighty, I put that new air filter back on there and adjusted it a little bit more. Sometimes when you add stuff onto whatever project you happen to be doing, if you add 3 things onto a project and you start it up, it's running like crap. Sometimes it may be what you just put on there. Oh, that's nice. It's full of gas. Wash your face off with gas today, Rick. Sometimes what you put on there may affect your engine performance. So I kind of grabbed that air cleaner and flipped that off there in case it was doing something to make everything run wrong. But it was just crap from the factory, you know. Kia, big company they are, they had a bunch of engines go bad, and it was because of they machined their engine blocks, and they flush them out from all the machining bits and pieces that are in there. Well, somehow in the machining process it didn't work very well, and some of them came out And on the assembly line with a bunch of junk in the engines, well, that stuff got down into the rods and the mains and other parts and the cam bearings, and just caused a lot of these engines to fail because they didn't clean their blocks, you know, super clean, pristine. So, I don't know, you just never know. Just this little deal here caused everything to not run right. Hey, hello everybody. I did some editing today. It's Saturday, and I think I'm going to end this part 4 here. I got it started. I have had it started about 4 times. It's hard starting. I use a little ether to get it rolling. I reset the valves. The exhaust valve was okay. It had some play in it. It's strange. This thing is like 2/1000ths is where you set the valves. You know, I'm used to 6-7 thousandths to set valves on the lawnmowers, and this thing's like 2/1000ths. Very tight tolerance. When I went to set the valve on the intake, it was really tight. So I thought, well, maybe it's hanging the intake valve open a little bit, and when it comes up to top dead center for compression and firing. So I thought, well, maybe that'll make it start easier, but it didn't. I got the valve all adjusted up, and it still starts like a bear. It only has 80 pounds compression. So I think I'm supposed to have that hub coming in today or tomorrow. So I'm going to get on it, ride it, work on the end, run the engine a little bit. It's not going to make the compression any better. So I do believe, now I have it all together. So I think maybe I'm going to probably pull the engine off it next week. I have my friend Chuck come and pick it up, put it up here on the bench, and I think I'm going to have to rebuild the top end. Pull it apart, take the jug off, take the rings off the piston, the top compression ring, run that up and down the cylinder, see what the wear is on there. If the wear was within tolerances, I'll get a new set of rings, piston, put it back together, probably lap the valves in, and hopefully that'll make it start better. It's not as too expensive to have that done or to buy the parts. I think I might be able to do it for, between $20 and $30 at the top end. I mean, it's all adding up. I mean, I'm probably over 300 into it by now. So when I'm done selling this, I might be able to go out and buy myself a Dr. Pepper. Oh, it just keeps on giving. Want to say hi to my brother-in-law Nick and Kathy up in Michigan. Thanks for the encouragement. He says I have we send emails back and forth, and Nick says I have a lot of patience. I have no patience when it comes to this bike, Nick. I have no patience when it comes to this bike. I've been doing a lot of different videos, and this one has just set me on fire. So, that's about it. Hopefully I get everything in and be able to take it out for a spin and shoot some video for everybody. I don't know, I've only have 4 people watching this video. It's disconcerting. I don't know. I sent it out to about 14 people and I get 4 people that watch it, so I know everybody's busy. It is what it is. So, for you people who watch it, this is the end of part 4, and part 5 we'll hopefully have some better news. All right. See ya. Be nice to your neighbor.